Crystal Clear is an environmental project. It is the brainchild of Hans Weber, an endurance sportsman from De Heide in Holland. The project's focus will be on Hans as he attempts, by swimming and sailing, to conquer the 1,000-kilometre-long Rhine. 6 young researchers accompany Hans on this undertaking. Together, they want to draw attention to the quality of the water in our environment, and especially to that of the Rhine. On Saturday, the 8th of July, 13 members of the team leave by coach for the Swiss Alps. 5 other team members wait in Basel with the escort boat. At an altitude of 2,000 metres, the night is spent in a hotel on the Oberalp Pass. A heavy snowstorm makes the outlook for tomorrow's climb tough. The next morning, Sunday the 9th of July, sees the start of the climb in bright, clear weather. A tough mountain climb is anticipated. The team sets out to find the real source of the Rhine, the so-called Rheinspitze. In a nearby mountain lake filled with sparklingly clear water, Hans makes a symbolic start to his journey. Here at least a wetsuit isn't thought necessary. Although the water is ice cold, it is so incredibly pure that a dive in the altogether seems appropriate. Don't be shy, Hans. Out you come. Nobody's going to look. The journey continues in the direction of the Meichelschutte. From the base camp at 2,310 metres, 8 members of the group depart for the so-called top, the Rheinspitze. The weather conditions have deteriorated so dramatically that the final climb demands extra effort. Once there, the climbers are able to catch their breath. At the Rheinspitze, a beautiful piece of mountain crystal is found. This rock, which is to symbolise clean water, will be handed over by Hans Weber to the city alderman of Rotterdam. On Monday the 10th of July, the return journey begins. On the way, the first official water sample is taken by the students. This bottle, filled with real Rhine water, is carefully packed away to be examined later. 186 kilometres away in Basel is the actual point of departure. On the escort boat Polycarpus, the 5 remaining team members manage to look after various international camera teams, so Hans can get going straight away.
This is a symbol of our journey. It's a piece of crystal.
Quite right. Our sportsman doesn't have any problem there.
You can even the zone is back into the Rhine. It has to do with international agreements.
On Tuesday, the 11th of July, Hans makes his first dive into the Rhine.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The team hardly dare hope that the interest shown in the Crystal Clear project after this first dive will continue. For Hans, the test of his stamina is about to begin. Close attention is paid to the quality of the water. After all, that's what this journey is all about. The 6 students on board continue to be kept busy carrying out the tasks connected with the research. The water temperature, the acidity of the water, its clarity, and the speed of the current were a few aspects which required attention during this dramatic journey down the Rhine. Small animals, as well as plants in the water, were examined extensively. Ultimately, these findings and experiences will result in an educational project. And in between, a few shots to go in the photo album. Everything that the researchers find is carefully drawn and recorded. Hans van Vliet, who is the biologist of the group, helps the students with their work. These results will form an important starting point for various educational projects in the future. In this way, Crystal Clear brings attention to the quality of one of the most precious and important resources in existence, crystal clear water, both now and in the future. During this venture, the weather is to affect the whole team, especially Hans. Heavy and long-lasting downpours cause some tricky moments for the lonely swimmer in those turbulent waters. Encouraging words, both during and after such difficult periods, were important. There is really only one thing which counts for Hans Weber, and that is, despite all difficulties, to swim for at least 99 hours in order to promote the ideological target, to bring to people's notice the quality of water in our environment. Apart from cultural and historic excursions, some sport was included in the programme. For the students, as well as the team members, the various sporting activities came as an enjoyable and welcome distraction. On Sunday the 16th of July, the team reaches the part of the Rhine between Rüdesheim and Koblenz, known to be one of the most beautiful sections of the river. Weather permitting, an organised outing is most welcome. Back on the Rhine, the reality of the situation is evident. Swimming in a river used by so many boats is not for the inexperienced. It means you need to be continually on your guard and to be physically in top condition in order to react and anticipate quickly to situations as they may occur. Of course, there is another side to things, the impressive views. Both left and right, many spectacular photos can be taken. The contrast is remarkable. The following shots illustrate how dynamic this section of the Rhine is. If the weather is good, there is plenty to wonder at. Beautiful rugged hills, alternated with cultivated vineyards and picturesque villages. There, in between, is this busy waterway, used by boats and ships of every size. A fascinating spectacle. Suddenly, it looks like the water nymph Lorelei has managed to cast her shadow. The weather conditions are cold and grim, especially near the 132-metre high rock where the Rhine becomes very narrow and is full of whirlpools. For Hans, the conditions are nearly unbearable. At times, he is almost swept away by the ferocious current. The crew on board the accompanying boat daren't take their eyes off him for a moment. Such conditions are very demanding for Hans. These conditions are impossible to prepare for and demand strength, fitness and perseverance. In Koblenz, on Monday the 17th of July, the team are visited by Harm Otterdom, Secretary of the International Rhine Committee. For 50 years, this committee has dedicated itself to the quality of the Rhine water. According to Hans Weber, the results so far are above expectations and therefore very encouraging. Throughout the journey, there have been heartwarming receptions along the way, thanks to the efforts of the Ministry of Transport. Under Minister De Vries saw the possibilities to promote Holland as a leading country in a worldwide campaign for clean water. Hans is really fed up. The weather just won't improve.
And that's why I cannot swim 9 hours a day, and I must reduce it to 6 hours, 7 hours, sometimes 5, sometimes 7. some between the 6 and the 9 hours.
Wednesday the 19th of July was yet another gloomy day with a lot of rain. The industrial area of the Ruhr does nothing to help lift the spirits of the team. It's time again to relax and let off steam, and that's no problem for this team.
Duiken? Nee!
Possibly one of the nicest experiences with the press happened on Thursday the 20th of July. A youth news crew were present as the crystal clear team was about to cross the German-Dutch border. There was plenty of media attention given to the students and their findings, which they will be able to share with many other young people. By doing so, the team links up with the philosophy of the Worldwide Water Forum held last March in The Hague, led by His Royal Highness Prince Willem-Alexander. Also today, there was a lot of interest in the return of the team to within the Dutch border, and Hans was keen to play his part.
Spreekt je Nederlands? Ja, dat ben ik goed. Dat ben ik goed.
Shortly after passing Arnhem, Hans was really shocked by the quality of the water. A bad dose of diarrhea was the result. A bit of a setback for Hans, who up until then had been rather impressed by the quality of the Rhine water. The young researchers who carried out their work quietly were certainly not overlooked by the press. Time and again, their contributions to the project were highlighted.
Tot in Rotterdam!
Laatste stuk, hè?
Laatste stuk!
Full of good heart, the last stage begins. The team arrives back in Rotterdam Harbour to a tremendous reception. Due to the fantastic support from the Rotterdam Municipal Port Management, this part of the project also went without a hitch. As one of the main sponsors, they carried out a lot of work behind the scenes. Then Hans hands over the piece of mountain crystal to the Alderman of Rotterdam. Shortly before arriving at the Hook of Holland, time for one last liberating dive. The job is done. The sporting achievements were creditable, and due to the overwhelming coverage from the international press, there was much attention drawn to the environmental issues.